embryology, reproductive or urogenital. This is the stage of the tube-like structure, and of more and above this one more tubes. This tube was your gut tube, foregut, midgut, and hindgut. The hindgut also is. This is the role of allantois is to collect these two tubes gonadal ridge, and this is mesonephros. So focus on this gut tube. Three is having which is having this part is known as the cloaca. This part is known as cloaca. So this is your allantois cloaca. This cloaca is brain being one cloacal membrane. Membrane. This is one tube. Cloaca is one like structure, which is having membrane, cloacal membrane, and this is the hindgut portion, and this is filled with urine. Sometimes what happens? This cloaca divided septum. One septum develop like this, and this septum will divide the cloaca into tubes. This septum, this septum is septum, urorectal septum. So what happens? The divided into two parts. Future rectum, and this is urosinus. It is also divided into. This is known as anal membrane. Sinus. This is uro. So from one tube, two, one and two, because of this septum. And here, picture was present. This was future. What is the figure? This allantois will obliterate, and it will become urate. tube from the last portion cloaca. From that one tube, septum is there, which divide into two parts. Not only this tube, it divides the cloacal membrane into two membranes. This one is urogenital membrane, anal membrane. Sometimes what happens, some anomalies occur. Some anomalies occur. What is that anomaly? It's known as is uretero. Why this anomaly of your urorectal? This septum, which divide the cloaca into two, fused, means some opening is there, some opening. So because of this other anomaly, because of failure of urorectal septum to completely. If is fails to divide into two, so some opening will be there. Because of those opening, communicate is called ureterorectal fistula. This is urogenital, that is urethral part. So one anomaly is related with the. Then next thing, was obliterated and it formed urine and the anal membrane. This is urogenous, and here you will find anus rectum. It is called as urogenital part. Part 3 links dweller. Before going into these three swelling, this I will explain the urogenital sinus will form what structures. This is septum, your membrane and membrane. Urogenital sinus, it will form urinary bladder and urethra. Urogenital sinus forming urinary. Around this part, three swellings develop. One at the fourth tip, and this T is tubercle. And two swellings they are called genital on side. These are genital swelling. So this was what we have this part rectum and anal membrane. This is your anal membrane behind which So around this tube, around this part, one is tubercle, two genital on the side. In case of male, what is the this T or tubercle? So here is what indifferent. Indifferent stage means your membrane, hair, tubercle, genital fold, and genital swelling may go or this may enter into female bath and urethra. So first we'll see what happens in case of male from this indifferent stage, from these swelling. This is the T. Genital tubercle, genital tubercle will elongate. Phenomena is first elongate. Tubercle will elongate. And the things which are adjacent to this fold or simply genital fold, they will also elongate. They will also elongate. What happens with this? So this tubercle will elongate. Which direction? Cranial. It will elongate. Tubercle elongation. This fold. So what happens? This is of genital fold. These two are these on the side genital fold. There is known as urethral plate. Urethral plate. Opening it as the groove. It is known as the groove. The genital tubercle elongate. Side of it we have genital fold. These fold, if they close like this, then when they fuses like this structure will be called as benign urethra. That normally, this is your urinary bladder. Some urethra part, which urethra? Prostate and membranous. And what is this tube-like structure? The genital. This is from the genital tube. If we see, these are, make it three-dimensional like this. This is tube-like structure having this part is on urethral plate groove, and this is when this fold they will meet each other. So this is happening here. Called this complete tube-like structure penile urethra. Because prostatic urethra and membranous urethra that side and this part formed folding of your genital fold from the up to this stage. So where the penile urethra is present, this is known as 10. In this structure, it is present, penile urethra. Where it is absent, tip. If I make it at the tip, absent. Penile urethra is absent. How to connect this penile urethra side with this orifice? So what happened? Because up to this level, this PU is not present here. So what happens here? One ectodermal invagination will develop. This this is called ectodermal ectodermal tissue into tip. So from here up to this tip, ectodermal cells proliferate and they will join the tip. Now these are the cells. They will make a tip. They will canalize and that will open outside. It is forming from the urogenital sinus. So endodermal origin and this part is the origin. Ectodermal origin. Hello, voice is clear.
Sir.
So different from the from this T tubercle and side these are the cell. So what we have from this T tubercle, this from this tubercle it is formed. From this fold, this penile urethra is formed. But from the ectodermal cells which proliferate this Behind it is connected with the urinary bladder. And here, this is the prepuce, which is also origin. And skin ectodermal. So this the story of uros in the tuber. So till now, what we have seen, the cloaca having cloacal membrane. This was sept. This was urogenital sinus. Urogenital. From this, three swellings developed: tubercle on the side, fold, and this swellings. What was the fate of these two? From the tubercle, this from the fold, pinithra, and from this ectoderm, it is covered and it open at the tip. And the skin that forming from the ecto. Now, till now, structure is completed. This urinary bladder, uh, prostatic urethra, and membrane, and from here to here, this penile urethra, and it is completing by the ectoderm. And on the side, S are there. These are known as genital swelling. These are known as genital swelling. These from this they will form the scrotum. And the line of fusion that will be called scrotum. So what is left? Two muscles are left. This is the urethra. Urethra is a soft, delicate thing which soft, spongy, or something like cotton fabric. The urethra, whatever muscles are there, they are spongiosa. Spongiosa. Corpus, body part, so corpus spongiosa. The muscles which are they are known as CCP, corpus cavernosa, So this corpus spongiosum and CCP and corpus spongiosum, their origin tubercle. Their origin is also from the. So what are the structures derived from genital tubercle? This tissue, spongiosum and pinna and glands. This tip is known as glands. So these are derived from the genital tubercle. Penile urethra part. This is derived from the genital fold. Now, species differences. In case of cat, in case of cat, as in other species, the this tubercle elongate. Case of cat, there is no tubercle. There is no tubercle. Therefore, because of penis apex will think caudally will because there is no tubercle elongation. In case of ram, in case of buck, that is male goat, urethra, this urethra comes out beyond. This is tip. The urethra comes out urethral process, which is longest in case of ram. And urethral process is the most common calculi obstruction. This is the point blocked by the base of the urethral process. Urethra extend beyond the tip. Extend the tip of penis. Called urethra. It is also known as vermiform appendix. Vermiform appendix. It is longest in case of rat and most common site deposition. Third species difference. Case of dog. In case of dog. This is the urethra. Above this, this is for CCP muscle, corpus cavernosum. This will undergo ossification. This will undergo that may lead to formation of os penis. So because of the corpus cavernosum, which is nothing but a means under ossification, that may lead to formation of O. So the position of the urethra is just below the. So urethra is running ventral case of dog, and it is opening. So the cranial part of the CCP muscle get ossified. That happens in case of dog. There is no ossification of this spongiosum muscle. This is spongy tissue on which urethra is sitting. This no ossification. Only the cranial part of CCP muscle get ossified. Formation of os pelvis.
हेलो
हाँ हेलो
सर प्लीज रिपीट
क्लियर ना?
कैट वाला हाँ हाँ सर कैट वाला पॉइंट सर रिपीट कर दीजिए
उसमें वो नहीं था क्या?
सर था मुझे समझ में नहीं आया
ओके. Species difference. Normally, what happens? This is the cell membrane, and this is the tubercle. And and on the side we have genital swelling. Male, other except cat, tubercle will elongate. But in case this tubercle will not elongate, it may result in caudal direction pointing of apex of the penis. Is I will explain. See, this is the cat. Normally, what happens in male, the tip of the penis is cranial, but in case of the tip is like this. The tissue is forward, it's direction, but the tip is like this. This tip is caudally. That is the tip is cranially. This in other like your bull, ram, horse, dog. The direction is forward, but this is the tip. So the tubercle will not elongate. Because of that, this tip will not be cranial. This tip is little bit like this. It is very small. Tip is caudal direction. This is the difference. The tip is also pointing forward. Tip is pointing cranially and cranially. Everything is like in straight line. But here is pointing little caudally. Apex is little happens in case of your male cat because the genital tubercle will not elongate. So because of the there is no elongation of this genital tubercle, picture become like this coma shaped. It is pointing the apex is caudal direction. Penile tissue is like this. But only the tip is in other species everything is in straight and cranial direction. This is the significance of tubercle, genital tubercle. And in case of dog, as I explained, this is the urethra formed. fold. Here we have some muscle. The cranial part get ossified. And call it os. And urethra always sit on spongy. It like to sit on sponge like things. So corpus spongiosum. Spongiosum. CCP. All the muscles are mesodermal in origin. Muscles get the position of urethra is just ventral to the os. Oh, sorry, penile urethra. Till tip, it was ectodermal in origin. Some of the species differ. Now, male cat clear है ना? Hello?
हाँ सर. हाँ हाँ हाँ.
That tip now only tip portion. Otherwise, it is like this. But in male cat, totally directed.
Okay sir.
So, the, now anomalies of genital fold, or you can say anomalies of the urethra, because genital fold will form the urethra. First anomalies is hypo, and second is epispadias. These are the two anomalies related with the genital fold, or you can say urethra. Hypo means below, padias means opening, epi means above, and padias means opening. Says there is opening of urethra that is below. We the below. So ventral opening, and epispadias means dorsal opening. It means ventral or dorsal anomalies. So what is the normal opening? What is the normal opening? This up to penile urethra, and it will come and it will open here. It will come out from the tip. This is the normal opening. So, what are these anomalies related with your urethra fold? If we say below this we have urinary bladder, and these are venous urethra, and this is the penile structure. And this is the PU, penile urethra, and it will open here. From the urinary bladder filled with the urine, urine comes out and normally comes like this. Number one, that is ventral. Except in this area, if it opens in this area, open here, it opens here, or this ventral opening is called as hypos. So why this ventral below opening occurs? What is the reason? The reason is failure of fusion of genital genital fold. In other words, terminology can be written failure of urethral groove. What does it mean? So these are the fold. They will fuse and they will form the penile urethra. These urethral fold, if they do not fuse, then this groove it will not open. If they fuse, then they will close it and they will lead to formation of penile urethra that will open outside. But if these two fold fuse properly, the groove will not be closed. So failure of fusion of fold, in other words, failure of closure of this groove, that may lead to hypospadias, and it may occur at any point. This hypospadia is more common than epispadias. This is more common. It is more common in dog. Breed known as Boston Terrier. This breed is having more predisposition in case of dog. It is having more number of cases of hypospadia. So if we look at the definition of this from the books, it says opens lateral and caudal to normal means this is here ventral and caudal to normal orifice. This is caudal to this. This is normal and these are the caudal. Behind may open anywhere. That is why it occurs because of failure of fusion of the genital fold, where it is more common in case of dog. What is the location of the? This is the scrotum. If I call it tip, near the tip, if penile urethra is open here, out. This is called as glandular hypospadia. Number number two. If it occurs, this urethra open, it is called penile hypospadia. If near the scrotum, here, scrotal hypospadia. If it opens this point and urine comes out, it is called perineal. And behind this, it is called anal hypospadia. So there are four locations, one, two, three, that may near the head or tip, glandular, mid-side, near the scrotum, scrotal, and behind this perineal or hypospadia. Opposite number. Opposite to this is episphere. In this on the this side, maybe penile, scrotal, perineal, or it opens on the doors, and this was the natural orifice. Urethra opens above, epispedia open below hypospadias. So up to this, what we have learned, all these things. This part of the urogenital sinus will go bladder, it will urethra, and here penile, urethra. This is hip, and this is the prepuce. And if we see from metal swelling, we'll get the scrotum, we'll get the scrotal vacuum. Simultaneously, in case of male, along with this, some other embryological processes are also going on. These are heads of the male. These are the testicles. These are having nephric tubule which fuses come here. Before entering, this will similarly here also they combine, and mesonephric, this is mesonephric duct, these are mesonephric tubule. It will also come, and where is the urogenital sinus. But before and vaginate and form this structure. So these are, what are these evagination structures? These are known as semina vesica, which are absent in, there is no evagination in dog. Other species it is there. Gastric duct open into the urogenital sinus. Outside of this we have paramesonephric or mul. Outside this we have paramesonephric, which comes and fuse and open paramesonephric duct. So in case of regress degenerate, only mesonephric duct are functional. So this was the urogenital sinus. These are gonads, testes. From these mesonephric duct come urogenital sinus. Before entry, they evaginate and give. Similarly, paramesonephric duct come, what structure? Urogenital sinus. They will open here. Then these testes So descent down. So for their descendant, see pouch. So there is one thread-like structure them to guide them to go to school. Here is also to guide them. Sit in the scrotum. So this guiding structure, gubernaculum, how they enter scrotum? First they will deep inguinal ring, then inguinal superficial inguinal ring. After this, so this is after this role of governor over, and it will be represented here in the form of remnant. Two remnant. Number one, proper. Number two, ligament of tail of epididymis. So there are two ligament formed. This is proximal ligament of tail of epididymis. So testis, duct, these are mesonephric tubules. They combine, they form these two genital sinus. They will evaginate and form seminal ovum. Paramesonephric regress. It will paramesonephric duct will regress. This paramesonephric duct, this cranial part, which is here at the head of the testis, it will form some blind structure. This will regress or the cranial part appendix appendix testis. Process. Paramesonephric degenerating, and this caudal part will remain as such. So it will degenerate. This is known as appendix test. It will degenerate. And this cranial part form as a remnant appendix testis. Caudal part of paramesonephric duct, it it looks like uterus. It looks like uterus. The name of the structure is called uterus masculinus, or there is one more name, prostate, prostatic utricle. So two remnant, one at the cranial part, one at the caudal part. Appendix testis, and this which look like a uterus is its name is masculinus or prostatic utricle. If I summarize, urinary bladder derived from urogenital sinus, then urethra, then we have penial are the testicles having mesonephric which open and before opening from the seminal vesicle. Here also open before opening on. After this, all these are part of urogenital sinus. There are two glands in male. B, first is P. This is the P, prostate. And here below this B, bulbourethral. Bulbourethral. These two are found from the urogenital. This is they are found urogenital sinus. But seminal vesicles from the mesonephric duct. Then Fluffy and this testis is come here by the this testis remain as prostis and ligament of tail of epididymis. One more structure that paramesonephric duct. Cranial part appendix testis here. Appendix and caudal part will be like uterus. So this is all about the main system productive. Now embryology. First we'll see external genitalia, then internal. If we see the again we have same structures. Urogenital sinus, cranial part is urinary bladder. This part will develop into urethra. And here T for tubercle that may lead to the that may lead to clitoris, and these are the fold. They may form labia of the vulva. This side, these two S, this side swelling, they regress or degenerate. They do not form any part in female. Female external genitalia is very simple. That is from the tubercle to this leg. Yes, we have urinary bladder, urethra, and now we'll see it form of caudal vasa. Hello. Board visit. we have here ovary, and they are derived from the gonad. Similarly, ovaries are having nephric duct, tubule, will and mesonephric duct and tubule. Mesonephric or Wolffian duct. To the mesonephric, we have paramesonephric. Paramesonephric duct, which enter and both fuse like the fused. So this happen in case of female. Paramesonephric, mesonephric duct, Mammalian duct. This is the outline. And one second. This is the mesonephric duct. Okay. So these are the uterine hole. This is and this is known as cranial vessel. This is known as cranial vessel. This is urogenital sinus, which is having urinary bladder, and this has the obliterated urecus. Here, urethra, sinus. It participate in the this part proliferate, and this part form a structure and plate, vaginal plate. This vaginal plate with genital sinus, urogenital sinus, it fuses cranial vagina. After fusion, the lumen becomes lumen. It will open here. This will lead to formation of caudal vagina having double origin. One from the paramesonephric cranial vagina and distal vagina is having origin from the sinus. So two origin, one from paramesonephric duct, one sinus. It opens, and this septum which separate vagina from urogenital sinus is called as hymen. So in case of female, urogenital sinus what will form urinary bladder, urethra. Then here we have fold labia over. These swellings will then in this sinus what opens is both para stimulate this part. This part will out and form vaginal plate. After some time, this vagina fuses with the paramezonephrine. Human gets connected so that the paramesonephric duct uterine body is formed, cervix formed, cranial vagina formed from the urogenital sinus. Now, mesonephric duct. In case of female, the cranial of this tubule, I'm not calling these as mesonephric tubules, which are part of the Wolffian duct. They will form some structures like this, and these are called FO4O, FO4O, and the which is below is called para. This is from the mesonephric tubule. The structure T that is above FO4O or O4O. These are easier mesonephric duct in case of female. Then what happens to these duct which are coming? Will come like this. Will come. This part will regress and this will regress, or you will find are known as this remain cartilagous duct in the wall of vagina. So from the one at the cranial, one at the caudal. The cranial are FO4 that are from mesonephric tubule. The part which is just at the end comes Gartner's duct. So Gartner's duct are caudal part of mesonephric duct. About female reproductive origin. Hello,
Yes, sir.
hello. कुछ डाउट है? मेल और
नहीं सर.
रिवीजन चाहिए? लास्ट पॉइंट समथिंग.
ओके
एक
सर.
कंपैरेटिवली, हाँ, सी
हाँ.
कंपैरेटिवली एक एक्सप्लेन करता हूँ मैं. बोर्ड विजिबल है ना?
हाँ हाँ सर.
पूरा पूरा विजिबल है ना?
हाँ सर. हाँ हाँ.
See, in both the cases, we have unique silence. That is common in either male or female. And that is also common. Urogenital sinus will form urinary bladder. Obviously, the urinary bladder, urine will go to urethra. Then in this side is male, penile urethra, and penile urethra in the penile structure. So this is formed from the genital fold, the genital tubercle, tubercle. Female part from the genital tubercle. Here, what is formed? Clitoris. Clitoris. From the fold, what formed here? That is the labia. What is left here? These genital filings which form in the male, they will form the scrotum. But in female, they will disappear. Nothing will form. Okay. Now, if we see in both urinary bladder, here also urethra. In case of male, testis and this mesonephric tubule for mesonephric duct. Similarly, here we have ovaries, mesonephric tubule and duct. Everything is common. Here they will and will open with one E vesicle or seminal vesicle. To urogenital sinus. Seminal vesicle. Okay. Now, these testes are guided by something that is known as gubernaculum, which test it down. First, they will enter deep inguinal canal, and then superficial inguinal, then they will enter into the scrotum. Remnant. One proper ligament of epididymis and one ligament of the tail of epididymis. Now, male also have paramesonephrine duct. They will come and fuse with the urogenital sinus. In female, they also have paramesonephric duct, which will and this mesonephric duct they will end in the vagina, in the wall of the, and these two are known as Gardner's duct. Gardner's duct.
Hello?
In case of male,
Hello?
hello,
Hello, sir. Sir, Gardner's duct is found
yeah,
in male reproductive tract, no?
which duct?
Gardner's duct. Male
Gardner's duct.
present. Yes, sir.
Gardner's duct is a remnant of mesonephric and it is present in the, not in male, it is present in the. So in case of male, paramesonephric duct cranial remnant is called appendix testis and this caudal is called uterus uterus musculatus. This is in case of female,
Sir,
ha,
sir, in one MCQ, it's given, sir. It's a remnant of Wolffian duct, mesonephric duct,
remnant of Wolffian duct is
or mesonephric duct. Sir, Gardner's duct.
mm-hmm. Ha, correct. That is Gardner's duct, correct. But it is present in female, not in male, because in male, mesonephric or Wolffian duct is giving cause difference, epididymis. It is not remnant. It is function of male. What is remnant? Paramesonephric and at cranial part, at caudal part. In male, mesonephric or Wolffian is totally functional, giving epididymis and seminal vesicles also. Paramesonephric remnant. In case of female, para is functional, is remnant. At what places it is remnant? Cranial part. Cranial part, what we call is remnant epophoron, and this is parpophoron. This is cranial, and here it will regress and caudal to duct in the wall of the vagina called Gardner's duct.
Okay, okay, sir.
Gardner's cyst is also found, And sometimes in case of animals, these cysts are so big you can from the vulva directly. Means in if we open from the vagina, these Gardner cysts are so big that you visualize these Gardner cysts. In case of female, this part of urogenital sinus forming vagina, it will reduce and it will form nodal vagina. So in this way, female part is complete, having ovaries. These are the paramesonephric duct which will form uterine horn, cervix, cranial vagina. Then from the urogenital sinus, bladder. From the bladder, urine comes out into urethra, distributes to vulva, and here clitoris. In case of male, testis. From the testis, what comes out? Epididymis and vas deferens. They are mesonephric duct, which are fully functional. And these mesonephric duct seminal vesicle. Okay, from this urogenital sinus, straight gland, we have vulvourethral gland. Uh, accessory gland, their origin is like this on the mesonephric duct, and these prostate and vulva structure urogenital sinus. Okay, one more important female. Female also have this gubernaculum that guide the ovaries for their migration. Okay, how they migrate? Not only test. If we see, these are the and uterus. Ovaries are the ovary. The gubernaculum. This is the gubernaculum. It will guide. It will guide the ovaries. Gubernaculum is not like scrotum. In case of testes, they come where they stop ovaries. They will stop when the uterus. And this proximal part of the gubernaculum as a proper ligament of ovary. This is attached with the proper ligament of ovary. And the remaining part of gubernaculum, this this is known as the ligament, round ligament of uterus, which is coming uterus, and where it is ending, it ends into connective tissue of vulva. These are the labia where it ends, and from where it is coming, attached with the ovary. Proximal part will remain as a remnant from ovary. Distal part with round ligament of the uterus in the connective tissue of the labia. So, where this migration of ovaries takes place, species this migration is present, and in there is no migration. Dog and cat, there is no migration. No, they are present in the abdominal cavity just for the in case of dog and cat. Number two, case of Mayer, of ovary migrate, and it between kidney and pelvic inlet and pelvic inlet. Number ruminant. Maximum migration occur in ruminant. Pig. They migrate to pelvic inlet. So, ovaries developing in the abdominal cavity. In the dog and they will not migrate, remaining in the abdominal cavity. Ruminant pig maximum migration. They come down to the pelvic inlet. Pelvic inlet. So this is migration of the ovaries or descent of. Uh, left in case of male, that was from this genital swelling species differences. Huh. In case of horse, in case of ruminant, where the scrotum is present, what is the scrotum location? That location is decided by these as metal swelling. Suppose this is the animal. Here, inguinal region, scrotum is present. So, in case of horse, genital swelling, this as migrate, migrate cranially. It migrate cranially so that scrotum will be in the inguinal region. Scrotum is located in inguinal region. But what happened in case of pig? So this was our urogenital. This was the fold, tubercle, and these are the. So what happens in dog and pig? In case of these animals, scrotal is present just beneath the anus. It means in these cases, this S, it means genital, they migrate, they migrate caudally, and this scrotum is present just ventral to anus. But as we saw in horse and those, it was present in the inguinal region. And here in this. In case of dog, in case of dog, the test, the scrotum, it is present in between these two. Dog means between anus and inguinal region. Between it is present in case of that significance of migration of these swellings, genital swellings, which gives rise to. So If it is present in the region, it is horse and ruminant. If it is present here, then cat, cat. If it is present in between, this is dog. That is the scrotal swelling migration or significance of presence of the. Then origin of the vagina. Double. What is the meaning of double origin? Here these two paramesonephric duct they fuse and they come here to the urogenital sinus. They will send some signal and this part will proliferate. Urogenital this will and this will form vagina that may fuse with this part. This is which is formed from paramesonephric and this part is formed from the urogenital. So after some time, this will fuse, the lumen becomes common. So this is the development of vagina occur. Cranial part from mesonephric band from this urogenital sinus. And this is called hymen. Now degree of Mullerian duct. That will decide type of uterus. Type like bicornuate. Case of rabbit, duplex, rabbit. Number third, in case of
Sir, camera
being
focus.
within simplex. Next lecture, fusion of Mullerian duct will give rise to different type of uterus like duplex, simplex, and some anomalies like fur disease, didelphys
Hello.
uterus,